With kids back in school, it's not uncommon for them to get sick as viruses and bacteria start to spread. In today's Wellness Wednesday, we're focusing on measles and pertussis. We're joined by Dr. Stephanie DeLeon. And Doc, we've seen more than a dozen cases of measles here in Oklahoma this year, along with an outbreak in Texas. Are there some concerns with kids being back in the classroom? We could see that number of cases rise.
The short answer to that question is yes. Anytime we have large groups of kids that are spending a lot of time together, especially in a close setting like a classroom, we know that infections are going to spread pretty easily. We've already seen an uptick in some of the common viruses that cause colds and stomach bugs since kids have been back in school. Luckily, we are not seeing a lot of measles in our community right now, but certainly if a kid with measles was to come into a classroom, we know that it's going to spread pretty rapidly in that setting.
Are there conversations parents need to have with their children about things to look out for, maybe some of the symptoms of the measles that parents and teachers need to be keeping an eye on?
I think that's a great question. The beginning symptoms of measles can look very similar to some common colds that we see every day. So things like runny nose, some cough, a little bit of congestion. A couple of things that set measles apart is a high fever, typically 103 or higher in those kids. They also will often get red, irritated looking eyes. But the thing that really sets measles apart from some of our other viruses is the rash that will develop. It looks sort of like red splotches or flat red areas that often start on the head near the scalp and then will go downwards towards the trunk and out to the extremities.
How about whooping cough? That's something else that, parents and teachers are really got to look out for. What makes those things like that highly contagious?
Yeah, I am so glad that you asked about whooping cough. Although we are not seeing a lot of measles in our community right now, we do see a lot of whooping cough. And so I think that's something I really want families and school professionals to be aware of. Whooping cough is also known as pertussis, and it is a bacterial infection that causes, as it sounds, a really terrible cough. And this is a highly infectious disease that is spread through respiratory droplets. So someone coughs or sneezes into the air and it hangs around in the air. And then the people sitting near you or walking by also breathe in that air and then become infected. We also know that kids can cough or sneeze into their hands and then they're going to touch the items around them that then another student is going to touch, and that's another way that we can spread this infection. Our kids are not great about washing their hands well. They're not great about sneezing into Kleenexes or coughing into the corner of their arm or away from those other kids that are sitting around them. And so it's a really great way for this to spread in a classroom setting.
Yeah, just another reason to have that conversation about washing your hands and being thorough there. I did want to ask you too, because sometimes kids will hear about this stuff and some of them are old enough to take it to heart and they get like really freaked out. Are there conversations that you can have with these kids when they know they're going into school and some of these things are going to be out there, but it shouldn't be some kind of like fear-causing paralysis for them? It's just kind of part of what's out there and we can only do the best we can do to prevent it. How do you sort of negotiate that with a kid who might hear about this stuff and get really afraid?
Yeah, I think anytime we're talking about scary things with kids, we want to talk about the things that we can control and the things that we can't control. And I think the idea of not letting fear rule what we're doing every day is really important. And so empowering kids with the things that they can control. And that's things like washing your hands well, not sharing, drinks or forks or food with their classmate is also important. And one of the things that I really want to stress for families is these are both vaccine preventable illnesses. And so if you have your children that are up to date on their vaccines, they're really pretty protected from having these spread, even if they are in the classroom setting. So that's something adults really have to do on behalf of their children, but it's a great thing that families can do.
All right, Dr. DeLeon, we appreciate it. Kids out there, if you're listening to this, the parents have it on while you're eating dinner or something, wash your hands. Figure this thing out. We appreciate your time today, and thank you for helping keep our kids safe, especially as they get back into those classrooms. We appreciate the time.
Thank you.